Hello guys, welcome back to Hey Manager, I'm Alex, and today is my Game Week 3 overview, and we've now got a 2-week break for the international games, I think it's the World Cup qualifiers, and let's see how I fared anyway this week, which is going to be a quick update. So, if we just have a look here, you can see 49 points overall in the Game Week, 1 point above the average. It was worth playing my wild card, I'll show you why in a second, but we had a bit of a devastating blow. We had a back three of Aston Villa, Tottenham and United. We played, I think Villa played Palace, they did. Got battered 3-0. We had Tottenham, who were in fine form, actually managed to lose to Bournemouth 1-0 at the new London Stadium, the Tottenham Stadium. Then Manchester United conceded 2 against Burnley. And I thought, Matthias de Ligt, defensive contribution man, he would have got, at least 10. He got 4. He didn't really do much that game. So, Matthias de Ligt, not brilliant. But then we do have the midfield, which we have Grealish, who was probably the saviour, to be honest, of the team. We had Johnson in there, who didn't really do much. Gakpo had a few opportunities here and there, but picks up a clean sheet for an additional 1. Forest had an absolute shocker. Now, I had a feeling Paqueta should have been put in my team. I was really, really thinking about it because West Ham, it's the first 2 games. They're going to have Potter's going to change something. He's not going to stick to what the formation was. He's not that stupid. He's not, like an Amarin, who I'm not calling Amarin stupid, by the way. I'm just saying, he's not so stubborn that he has to stick to his formation or a tactic. He went to a 4-2-3-1 and it worked brilliantly. They were more pressing, more on the front foot. They had more options up front. Paqueta could do his things in the middle. It's just so much better seeing them play in that way. And then Forest were just absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. And Doyle only getting the 1 point. I think he came off. Yeah, he came off before the 60th minute. João Pedro getting me a goal and 3 bonus points, which is very nice. Haaland picking up a goal and 3 bonus points, which is very nice. So, 2 returns out of the 3 forwards I'm pretty happy with. I think Ekitike, if we just have a look at his statistics here, didn't really do much. That was the only thing. I was a bit here there about him, to be honest. He looked like he was going to hit the ground running and really, push on in the game, but he just didn't. He does have Burnley and Everton coming up, though, which would be nice to see them play against them. Liverpool, there's going to be goals coming from all over, and today is deadline day. We're going to see Isaac going there. It's going to be a big one. Do I pull Ekitike out of the squad? I don't know. I'm a bit here or there about it, so we're just going to stick with what we've got for now, I think. So, yeah, that's my points this week. The bench, here's the twist. We could have had 69 points. Nice. We could have had Chalobah on 13 points. That's just in the dream world where I would have maybe put a bit more faith into Chelsea, which I mean, they had a goal disallowed. Very, very lucky Chelsea. Fulham should have had the goal. To me, it should have stood. Should have stood. Muniz pivoting on his man, taking the ball first, then trying to plant his foot, to which Chalobah came in with a poor tackle. It's more of a poor tackle than it is a aggressive, or I don't know what you'd call it, I don't even know what you'd call it. It's not even an aggressive move. It's more so like an incident, I'd say, where he stands on his foot. Very lucky to get a clean sheet, but Chalobah also getting the assist purely based on the fact he whipped the ball in and it hit someone's hand. Now, to me, those sort of assists, I don't know. I'm not really here with it. He didn't win a penalty. He by dribbling past someone or taking someone on. He just whipped the ball and it hit someone's hand. So managed to get the assist. I mean, they wouldn't be complaining if he was on my if he was in my team. But yeah, got the clean sheet, got 2 bonus, and then got the defensive contributions as well with 11. I don't know if defensive contributions are that big of an impact on your bonus this year, because João Pedro getting a goal, I think Chalobah getting a clean sheet, getting an assist and getting 11 defensive contributions is more of a, more awarding or more deserved of a bonus point system sort of upgrade and getting the 3 bonus points, then João Pedro scoring 1 goal, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, Chalobah for me, could have had him on. Richards, I don't know why I chose Cash over. I think because they're at home, but Villa looked poor to start the year. Chris Richards getting those defensive contributions as I thought he would. As you can see here, defensive contributions wise, he's done pretty well all year, 8 and 8. I didn't think he would get that many, but he's managed to get some against Villa. So 8 points there. Then Sanchez as well in there too. So Sanchez getting the 6 points, Vicario 3. But if we just cancel that out, if you look at Chalobah now and Richards, that's 21 points between them. Take out Cash, take out De Ligt, put Chalobah and Richards in instead. Two teams that are looking much better defensively than Aston Villa and Chelsea. I shouldn't have been thinking with my United head on. So that would have given me 20 more points and 69 points. Takes me up mega. That takes me up big time. So yeah, interesting one to say the least. If we compare it to my squad previous game week, Brighton conceding 1. Verbruggen wouldn't have got many points. I think he would have only got 1. Yeah, 1 point. De Kuyper again getting 0 points, conceding 2 goals. Oh no, sorry, that's for that game week. If we have a look at the game week against City, 2 points to him. De Kuyper, he got 2 points, that's 4. Nico Williams would have got 0, I assume. Out of that, he got 1. Estevay got, 0? 1. So again, Pedro Porro, again, probably getting 1. Got 4, fair enough. How did he get 4? Did he get defensive contributions? He got 12 defensive contributions, wow. Marlon didn't do much. Fernandez got 10 points. Gakpo with the 3. Fulkrug with the 2. Haaland with a goal. Watkins with a 2. Juve maybe coming off the bench, I don't know. I doubt I would have put a West Ham player in. Again, we're looking at a squad there that would have got 2, 4, 6, maybe like 10, 11, 21, 24, 26, 9 with Haaland, well, to call it 18 with Haaland, 26, 38. I probably wouldn't have been actually that too far off again, to be honest. But to me, I think this team, I would have just got the same, but it doesn't set me up for the success that I have, because my bench is looking a lot better, and I'm going to be able to do a lot better with this team going forwards. Transfers wise, so I've already made a transfer. You're going to say, why have you done that? It's the international break. I had 2 free transfers, so I've made a transfer. I've brought in Senesi. I do have him in there now. I think, looking at how he's actually played, he gets so far forward for a defender. He's always contributing. Like last year, if you look at his season last year, he managed to pick up, 31 points in the 24-25 season. Before that, the year before, obviously without him being injured, he picked up 4 goals, 5 assists, 23-24. He started this year really well. I think, especially with him bombing it a bit forward, they changed this system up a little bit, Bournemouth. I think they look really good, and he's going to be playing a bit more in that, I think they're playing like a back 5. I need to watch Bournemouth a little bit more, but they're playing like the back 4/5 now. Senesi getting forwards a bit more. He just looks, he looks pretty good, and the biggest bit for me is this 15, 14, 14. The defensive contributions are mega. Absolutely mega. Now, I know they've played Wolves. I know they've played Tottenham where he did get an assist, and he's a bit of a freak result. I won't call it that, but a little bit of a freak result. But you look at Brighton, you look at Newcastle, look at Leeds, Fulham, Crystal Palace. I don't think the Bournemouth midfield is that good that they're not going to start conceding chances. So Brighton, Newcastle, Leeds, Fulham, Crystal Palace, a great 5 games. I've had to bring him in before his price goes up, because 4.5 million is a bargain. Now then, the other question is, do I get rid of Cash, and do I try and get in? Because I think everyone's going to go for him now. It's Guehi. Because is he going to... I need to have a look at the injury report. Konate looked like he went down injured. You're looking at maybe Joe Gomez going into that side, but again, Frimpong and Bradley are injured. Frimpong may be coming back after the international break. Does Mark Guehi go straight in? Is he going to be thrown into the deep end? Is he going to be that man? It's going to be interesting to see, especially because Van Dijk plays that left-hand side. Do we see Guehi going into the right-hand side? Can he play that right-hand side? Because he plays on the left-hand side of the back 3 for Palace. Going to be interesting, but a £4.5 million defender for a team who defensively aren't brilliant. Like if you look at some of the Liverpool players, you actually can't see them. You have to go quite far down. Virgil van Dijk's the best out of all of them, out of every single one of them, but that's simply because picked up the clean sheet against Arsenal, but defensive contributions wise, he does mega amounts. They're conceding a massive amount of shots. They were great against Arsenal. I think it's more so because Arsenal weren't great. But the next few games, Burnley away, Everton at home, going to be an interesting one. Palace away, again an interesting one because they are pretty good, Palace. Then Chelsea, then United, where United, could could maybe pick up form by that game week, you never know. I'm going to just hold out on Liverpool players. So Guehi isn't going to come into my side. I want to see what happens after deadline day today. I want to see what happens going forwards. I've got quite a lot of money to work with. I think I don't think I can see how much money I've actually got. If I just take every single player out, just dead quick. I know you can do this by looking on the start screen, but I just want to see how much money I've actually got to work with, because I'm hoping I made a profit so far. I made 0.1 million profit, which is interesting, but I think this team's pretty good. If you look at Chelsea, they've got a good set of fixtures coming up. They've got Brentford, which will be an easy one, I think. Brighton will be an easy one. United's going to be an interesting one, seeing what form they're in. And then Liverpool and Forest are going to be difficult ones, I think. But again, they'll do all right with that. Haaland's got an interesting few games coming up. They've got United at home, where I think that's going to be an absolute goal fest. I think both teams are conceding so many goals. It's just whether or not they can actually formulate some sort of a chance creation. But then they've got Arsenal, where it's going to be an interesting one. If they pick up form, City, and they actually start doing something, Arsenal are there to be, they're there to be got at. And those Haaland, Gabriel, and Saliba games are interesting. Then they've got Burnley, Brentford, and Everton, where all three of those games I think they can be had at. So again, Haaland in there for now. Ekitike, now a big question. He is going to be a bit of a question. I've got £2.5 million budget, so if I did want to replace him, and that would be a big if I want to replace him, I do have the money for Isaac. 10.4 million. Do you bring him in? 4.5% of people have already selected him. Do you bring him in? That's the question. Going to be an interesting one. Same with Gyökeres. Do you bring him in? Or even Bowen, after looking at how well he did. They've got Tottenham and Crystal Palace and Everton. Do you bring him in? But again, interesting enough. I'll see what happens with Ekitike. So Semenyo, I'm happy with him. I think he's got a great run of games coming up. I think I'm definitely going to have him in my side. Gakpo looks brilliant. Whether or not he's the one that's dropped for Isaac, I don't know. But Gakpo looks pretty decent for that Burnley game. Grealish, I'm happy I've brought him in. Really happy. Got the 10 points against Wolves. Looks good. Difficult run of games coming up. But Everton, you never know what they can do, especially with that front line now. Johnson, a bit of a question. I'm going to put it down to having a bit of a blip. But they have some brilliant games coming up. Looking at West Ham, if they continue their form, they're there to be got at. Brighton, again, there to be got at. Wolves look terrible. Leeds, again, goal fest. And then Villa look awful again as well. So whether or not Johnson can try and pipe up in them games, we don't know. We'll have to see. And Doy again, then, if you just have a look at after the Arsenal game, they got Burnley and Sunderland, so we're going to have to see what they can do against them. Cash, again, just an interesting one. Senesi's brilliant. I've already gone through him. Chalobah again. Richard's brilliant again. I think Sunderland and West Ham are two good games to have in there. Then it's pretty tricky going on after that for Crystal Palace. So I'll see where they end up. Van der Ven, I've got my Tottenham back line in because they look like they've got great fixtures. Then obviously Sanchez and Vicario. So interesting enough, my team for the next week is going to look like this then. So we've gone for Sanchez in there and Chalobah. Going to put my faith into the Chelsea back line. Richards in there because they play Sunderland, but Sunderland look pretty strong this year. Senesi in there as well. I've got Grealish, Gakpo, Semenyo and Johnson, which I'm pretty happy with. They all look like they can contribute each week, which is what you want. Goal involvements. They get on the ball. They bring the ball forward. They're going to always maybe get an assist or a goal. You never know. Johnson, the one that I'm still questioning whether or not I have him in there. Then we've got João Pedro, Haaland and Ekitike up front. Ekitike still the question, but do you maybe, I don't know, I can't see them dropping Ekitike because he scored in some pretty big games, got assists, he looks great. Looking at those first two game weeks against Bournemouth and Newcastle, Arsenal, yes, a bit of a blip, not getting any expected goal involvements, but can you see him doing well going forwards? My only one is Johnson. Do I sort of take him out and do I replace him with someone else in the meantime? If you look at I like looking at the ICT index because that sort of gives you a good feel at where players are at. Fernandes really high up, got that 10. I think he got the defensive contributions as well, got the 17, so he got 10 points plus the goal scored. Plus the not the clean sheet, but plus that looks pretty decent. I wouldn't go with anyone else for now. I think my only other one that I might go for is Paqueta because I just like the look at West Ham going forwards. They just look like they're always going to score. He scored against Chelsea, scored against Forest. Tottenham, Crystal Palace, Everton and Brentford being the next few games are interesting as well. But let's see where we stand going forward because there's not that many great options, I have to admit, in the midfield at the moment. I mean, Salah's up there, but he's not getting his point return that you would expect out of someone of his sort of price tag. I don't know why he's still 14.5 million. He's not really hit the ground running so far this year. If you look at anyone like Gakpo or Semenyo or like, you know, other players like that, and Buemo looks like he's having loads of chances. He should have definitely scored and got an assist big time. Like, definitely got an assist anyway, but it just didn't happen for him. If United pick up form, do I maybe go for him? That's the question. But for now, it's going to be Johnson. So, yeah, there we are. That's where we are. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you are new. I've got 305 sub-managers, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you so much for that many. We're going to try and hit the 350 mark by the new year now. That's my new margin. FM26 news is coming up. I hope stand tight for that, because I'm definitely going to make sure I cover all that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll bring you another update next week. Just going to... well, probably not next week. In the next 2 weeks, I'll give you another update. We'll give the fantasy football a bit of a rest for a week, just whilst things are, you know, settling on. We'll see, maybe looking at the transfers, what happens. But thank you guys for watching, and I shall catch you in the next one. From me, Alex, have a great day. Ciao.